tinyBuild's Hello Neighbor is currently in alpha, but Tubbinater's mod Hello Neighbor might scratch that same itch by pitting two people in a 1v1 scenario that's more reminiscent of spy versus spy than daylight horror. The first player has 10 minutes to break into the ominous basement door while the second, the titular neighbor, guards the door from its intruder. The neighbor is invincible, one-shots the player, can set traps, and can run up to and catch a fleeing player. And against this arsenal, the player has infinite lives, any damage they do against the basement door is permanent, and there exists a variety of power-ups around the house that they can gather to increase their damage. Much like the alpha state game the mod is based on, the player loses any bonuses or benefits once they're slain and must start over from scratch. The player only wins if they destroy the basement door, while conversely the neighbor can only lose if the door is broken. In the alpha state game of Hello Neighbor, the neighbor is controlled by the game itself, and improves based on previous player attacks, both successful and unsuccessful. The basement door victory condition requires a specific set of objects before it can be opened, and it can't be otherwise damaged or forced. In changing the game into its top-down LittleWarGame incarnation, a human player would be expected to use the neighbor's invincibility and one-hit KO capabilities to camp the basement door. Fortunately, the mod's creator Tubbinater has given the neighbor a reason to roam away from its charge. Should the neighbor's plants or generator die, the basement door will slowly take damage over time. And fortunately for the player, these two important maintenance items are scattered throughout the house. When coupled with the player's ability to see their stats of repair or disrepair, the player now can traverse the house with an idea as the location of the neighbor. In this regard, the regular maintenance and building view gives visual cues to the player in much the same way the binoculars function in the alpha. The neighbor's house starts with constructed walls and barricades, and the neighbor himself can construct even more, throw down some bear traps, or speed up to catch a fleeing player. Players at the start will take 5 attacks to break each barrier or trap that's thrown in their way, but as they collect power-ups around the house, in lieu of the items that are scattered around in the alpha that the mod is based on, they'll grow stronger and more easily break out of these traps, barricades, and into the basement door. The locations of these various power-ups easily breeze interaction, as they're located away from the door, yet reasonably close to the generator and the plants that the neighbor must maintain. This helps the neighbor to guess the location of the player based on sub-objectives and reduces the element of randomness. Meanwhile, the player can never fully ignore the neighbor, as the neighbor is both faster and still capable of one-shotting them regardless of their power-ups. The well-constructed asymmetry between the roles makes the mod quite skillful, and setting a timer of 10 minutes ensures that the general story arc of slow gains, rising tension, and last-minute risks will be played out for nearly every pair that runs into the mod. While it's no surprise that Hello Neighbor was lurking in the back pages, it would still be unexpected for it to make the front page given its 1v1 nature and greater emphasis on positional outplays. Still, I recommend the map as an example of how an inspired idea can be more than a rough retread of the original, and proof that you don't have to have amazing editor skills and a gorgeous map to create something enjoyable and fun. For my own part, I'll be practicing against Tubbinater and see if I can't win a couple of times. Or even once. He's really good. Have fun warring against Mr. Rogers, and I'll see you back in LittleWarGame.